Hey guys, Blow Up the Yard here, and today I have an awesome unboxing on the new for 2025 Home Depot Fiery Reaper. Now, I was able to buy this guy today from my local Home Depot, as usual, and, you know, how I normally do, I bought the last one again, just like Gord. So, we'll see what this guy looks like. Hopefully there's no big paint errors again, and also had a wonderful surprise. This was the last box, and it's got a big old hole in the front. It was either this or I tried getting one from a store 7 hours away from a family member, and then that would have become a whole thing. So I got this guy today. I really want him this year because I am doing an Underworld theme, and I wanted some more Reaper props. I do love a lot of features of this guy. The scroll's awesome. I love the voice lines. I like the bobblehead. I know it's kind of controversial. I like the scythe, the size, the colors. Also the fact he has the lights on mode, and he's outdoor rated for the most part. So without further ado, let's get into unboxing this guy. So starting off the unboxing here, just gonna cut the tape. I believe he has protective cardboard on top. No different than the rest of the pack props this year, so I'm not too worried about cutting up anything. I do like the fact they do that. It does make unboxing these a lot easier. I haven't actually seen a lot of unboxings on this guy yet. I think there's only like 2, and they're pretty small, not very thorough, so I thought it'd be a fun guy to unbox. I did get him full price yet again. I haven't got anything on sale yet from Home Depot, but everything else I'm buying from this year, and it's probably like 1 or 2 more things, will be on sale. I definitely want to get Apscally, and I'm certain my store will have them go cheaper here soon. So let's take this cardboard out and see what we're dealing with. First look inside. It's looking pretty good. Probably going to need a good shot of this to rebox him because I haven't seen anybody else show the inside of the box yet. We got the instructions as usual. Yet again, another free try me button. Gotta love that. Outdoor rated adapter. I think maybe there's 1 or 2 cotter pins in here. Then next up we got his arm. It's kind of stuck here. So we got this arm. This is the regular arm that holds the scythe. It's got its nice little protective cardboard. Pretty well welded. I love the paint job. I like how he looks like he's like on fire. He'd go really well with like smoldering zombie. Very similar aesthetic. Would have loved to see maybe lights in the hand, but besides that, the rest of his lighting's like really good. A ribcage would have been kind of cool too, but for being 200 Canadian, 180 American, you really can't complain too much about this guy. We got another piece of scythe. This one's actually feels a lot thicker than like the ones that Gord has. I'm actually quite impressed. Even like thicker than the ones that Plague Doctor has. So this is actually very, very nice. It's actually got some grease in there, so be careful. I'm not sure why. But very thick, very nice, very sturdy. Not to say it wouldn't crack on you if you're not careful, so do be careful. It is still a cheaper plastic, but not bad. Top of the scythe here, so it's very big, looking very nice. I love the red accents. Yet again, looks like a piece of obsidian or something. Very weird sticker, very rectangular. Just plastic twist locks. I don't think you're going to have a lot of issues with these. If you leave him outside, he is technically outdoor rated. We got his clothes, very thick. That's what you want to see. Keep off tag. Yep, very nice. We got his other hand with the scroll, and this looks awesome. I love it. Yet again, the hand looks just as well painted as the other one. Kind of ashy, smoldering, very nice, and outdoor rated plug. No twist lock, but it's the usual, like it's not SVI, but it is the usual things that SVI uses. Very long too, which is nice to see. Here we got the rest of his poles all kind of together. Yet again, just as thick as the other one. Like you see it, they are all completely independent. Well, maybe not these two. No, actually, never mind. They are all symmetrical. For a second, I thought they were independent sculpts. So they are all the same, but you know, what can you expect? You're not going to notice it on the prop once you have them all together. These ones feel a little bit more hollow than the other one, but definitely not bad. Here we got his hip loop, or hip piece, and this is what actually broke through the box. No broken welds on the hip, and yet again, he's the exact same structure as Guardian of the Gord. So very cool to see. You know, they're kind of interchangeable. If one breaks on you and you only plan on using one, at least you kind of got spare parts that way. So yeah, again, another reason why I really like this guy. I do like quite a lot of PAX Modern stuff. And then here we got his bobblehead. Now this looks nice. I love it. Not messed up like Gord is. A bit more white paint would have been nice, but I'm not going to complain. He's also, his mouth motor's screwed on a little bit wonky, but that is not bad. A lot better first impressions than Guardian of the Gorge, that's for sure. Love the sculpt too. Never even noticed just how detailed it was with how sculpted in these details are. It just looks phenomenal. I love it. I love the bobblehead. I've never actually had a bobblehead prop, so by fact I own like 6 or 7 pack props. 6, 7. We're going to cut that from the video. Anyway, yeah, this guy is awesome. Love the head. Not totally sure how I feel about the connection, but what are you going to do about it? So, yeah, and outdoor rated. Again, wonderful to see. Coming in here, we got his torso frame. Again, pretty much identical. In fact, this one would be, well, it's an identical torso frame on the Witch from last year, the spellcasting Witch or whatever it was. Exact same control box. It's kind of mounted a little weirdly. And then the spring here is a little messed up, but this is a very weak arm movement, so I wouldn't be too worried about this spring having any real issues. It is very, very subtle. I can already see some paint chipping here on the metal where this thing happens. The Plague Doctor's was definitely better designed. So the arm might wear out over time. Hard to say, especially on mine here. But at the same time, my display model, I made a video on it. The mouth broke before the arm motor did. So, you know what? If you take good care of this guy, I'm sure he would last fine for sure. The rest of him looks good. All the connections are technically outdoor rated. I keep saying outdoor rated. They're just aux jacks, but definitely a lot more waterproof than other connections. So I would say he'd be pretty fine leaving outdoors. And then the last things in the box, we got his leg forms. These are actually incredibly thin. I've never seen leg forms this thin. Doesn't really matter. They don't really make a difference on these props at all. Even on gourds, it was very subtle. And then we got leg pulls. These are zip tied together. Yet again, I believe they are identical to the ones on gourd. A lot of similarities with him. The zombie barber as well. And I think the raven, yeah, the raven has the same ones too. And then in here, the final part, the base. This one actually does have proper holes for stakes. They're very small. I wouldn't recommend using super heavy stakes in here, but they do actually have proper holes. So this shows that he was meant to be even more outdoor rated than the rest of them were. So without further ado, let's get into a time-lapse setup of this very awesome prop.
Did I scare you? This is my favorite part of the job. The heat, thrills, and fear. With my handy scroll, I'll light your way through this dark and stormy night. To your demise! I have been looking everywhere for you. You're next on my list. Don't be frightened. The journey will be so quick, you won't even realize your soul has departed from your body. Done. Let's go. Time is wasting, and I have 500 more souls to collect before the night is over.
So a quick update here. I'm just looking at the mechanism. Mine's got a little tiny problems with it. Seems to happen to every animatronic I buy these days, but whatever. I have fun fixing them. So first off, this spring was really bent out of shape, so I just changed the position so that it would be bent a bit more uniformly, and it is now. And it was like super strong without the arm on here, so be careful. It is very, very violent. Second off, the same mechanism. Not a huge fan of this arm mechanism. I'm almost tempted to just unplug it, but I would like to use them to its full capacity. This little slider here that, this whole thing rotates and pushes the arm back. You can see it's a little offset, and it clicks like that. And that's not good. That's not good at all. It's going to wear it down. So this thing is way too far out, and this thing is also as well. So what I'm going to do is, the easy thing is, because I don't have a welder, I'm going to take these screw mounts on the motor, see them here, these four. I'm going to get a spacer, and I'm going to offset this motor back by like a couple centimeters. And then this thing will actually be lined up with this, because I can't push this back in or anything from what I can tell. And it's just going to wear this thing down so much. You can already see, actually, and this is probably from factory, because it was like this when I unboxed it, but see how worn down it is there. A lot of the paint on this thing isn't great. Leg pulls actually have a bit of scuffing. I'll get into this later with the details. But yeah, I'm going to do that, and then we'll talk about my overview of this guy. So here's how he's looking now. As you can see, I put in the spacers. It's working great. I just offset the whole motor over by this inch or inch and a half here, and the little rod is now lined up with the pivot here, so it shouldn't continue rubbing off this paint as it has. It worked pretty well. Like I said, I just had little 3D printed, I guess they were hooks or something I had lying around from whatever project, and I put in new screws, and I had to drill holes because the screws are a little bigger, but yeah, it went together really well, and I tested the whole thing, and it works great. Now, I'm actually recording this 2 to 3 days later than the last clip. I did finish this the same day I filmed that last clip, but I've been kind of sick this week, so it's a bit of a behind-the-scenes thing there. Sorry my voice sounds a little rough in these next few clips. It's been a bit of a minor cold, bit of a pain. But anyway, so this is looking great. Now I just want to go quickly into the review part now. I'm just going to show you some of the aspects of the mechanism here and talk about the pros and cons with it. And then we'll get into the actual exterior looks at him and stuff in the next clip. But yeah, so let's go over some of the internals here. Now the build and the welding is great. I love it. It's the exact same as Gord's. It's really nice. The paint on mine is a little scuffy. It's kind of hard to describe. A lot of dust on it too, probably because it had a hole when it was shipped, in the box. So that's a tad bit annoying. But yeah, still a really good prop. The paint thing's probably just a my model problem, and of course these things, I'm sure not every model will have that problem, hopefully, but there was minor fixes I was able to solve. Another thing, my only other con with the internals here, but everything else is watertight and it's definitely outdoor rated, and I'll get into that right after. But my other con is the fillers, and these are the same things in the arm too. It's the thinnest looking foam fillers I've ever seen. It's like the SVI ones, but like half as thick, so they're a bit floppy. I mean, they serve their purpose. It's just like Gord had thicker ones too for whatever reason, so I don't know why they cheaped out on his. And despite the fact there's 3 or 4 animatronics with this build this year now, they all have like different leg foam lengths for whatever reason. Gord has really short ones, and he has longer ones. I also don't know if Gord had the same welds. Not totally sure, but I know the leg posture and the hips and the torso and definitely this part is all the same. This actually originated from Soul Slasher, I believe, last year. Has the exact same torso frame or shoulder piece, and they've been using it over and over again. Now, the other con I wanted to get here too in this clip before we show the cosmetics and stuff is these plugs he has. Now, I've never seen these before on like any animatronic ever. They are the exact same that you see on SVI, except for they have, I can't really show it on camera with one hand, but they have twisting locks on them. So you kind of have to twist them to get them apart, which I might be able to actually do here. So you got to twist them to get them apart there. And they're just, the regular plugs. And then you got to plug them in and you twist them so they have a little notch right there. And it slides in there and it twist locks like a lot of other, blow molded pieces on 12-footers and stuff. It's just a really nice little added feature that makes it so much more waterproof than it needs to be. So I would definitely say this guy's outdoor ready. Definitely be fine leaving him outside. Even the the IR sensor jack is one of these, so it's pretty well, not watertight, but shouldn't short circuit how it's designed, and this one's also twist lock. And of course the plugs and all that are twisting too. So yeah, it's just, definitely really well built for $200. Superior to a lot of Spirit animatronics this year. I still think, I've said this time and time before, the only thing I see wrong with Home Depot's mechanisms and quality is they just need to put aux jacks on these things, because the speakers are pretty bad half the time. So that's the only thing I'd love to see Home Depot doing, but I'm so glad that they've standardized outdoor rating. These props are not even marketing as outdoor rated anymore, possibly because they're not the best, but they will last outside for sure. And if you put a trash bag on them, they're going to be like mint condition outside. So yeah, with all the internals out of the way, let's kind of show you the outside of him and all of his wonderful cosmetics. And here he is. This guy is fantastic, amazing, spectacular, phenomenal, whatever you want to say. I think the word to summarize him, though, is underrated. This guy has just been very overlooked this year from Depot's lineup. And I think the big thing with that is the fact that he is a pack reaper. And, they don't have the best reputation. Pack's known for making hundreds upon hundreds of bubble-headed reaper props, just like this guy. But I think he's the pinnacle of pack reapers when it comes to that. He is incredibly underrated. His quality is just great. His price is amazing. You're getting a great build. He's a really nice size. He's bigger than like basically any other pack reaper. And I think he's honestly one of my favorite like modern reaper props. Like I think he's okay. Well, I won't go as far as like comparing him to Reaper Souls or anything, but like he's kind of up there with some of my favorite ones. Like along with Inferno, maybe the 12-foot levitating Reaper. Demonic Gatekeeper is pretty awesome. I do quite like him too. I just like a lot. Like and his character's great. Like for a pack, they're just. I could say like 100 things about pack. In fact, in the future, probably next year, I'm just going to make a video talking about the absolute just sheer effort pack's put in the past few years. But he is like amazing. I love his character. He's got amazing voice lines, and I quite love it. The audio is actually pretty good, and that's kind of a lot with the other pack props. They're pretty comparable, if not slightly better than most of the Spirit's audio files this year. Like it's actually pretty clear. Wouldn't go as far as saying like techie quality or anything, but it's really nice. I like his detail. I wish he maybe had a bit more lighting in the sense it showed in the cracks and stuff. It doesn't overly do that, but it does look really good, and the paint job on like all the parts look great. The staff's very subtle. Basically the exact same as like Guardian of the Gourds and Plague Doctor from last year had like the exact same scythe, but this scythe part looks really nice. I like the fact they went out of their way to give like gnashes and stuff into it. It looks like obsidian. Looks awesome. The scroll's phenomenal. Super, super cool. The lighting's just amazing on this guy. Looks way better once you own him, like see him in the dark compared to in Home Depot. Like I love the lighting on him, and I'm so glad he has constant lighting feature. Yet again, another reason why he's just better than most Reapers. You can have him like standing here on sensor mode. He's not on sensor mode right now, but he can look like this on sensor mode, and that's just awesome to see Home Depot standardize that along with the outdoor rating stuff this past few years. He's got some nice chain, actually really nicely detailed. I ended up looping it through one of these ones here just to make it offset to look a little better. His clothing's great. He's got some like almost like a suit felt or like a really thick polyester kind of stuff on the inside here. You can see on the inside of like a suit or a coat kind of thing. This is landscaping fabric underneath, but it does have this really nice kind of textured cloth on top. There's quite a nice amount of Velcro parts here. This hood is a bit annoying. Mine and all of them actually usually have Velcro on top of the head, but mine, the Velcro piece came unstapled. And it was kind of annoying because they had to Velcro it like here, and that just looked a little weird. So I ended up just taking it off, and I do quite like it like this. And I love the fact he has posable wire in the hood. That is one thing I did with my Inferno Reaper. I put posable wire into it just so I could have it, pose like this. I'm so glad he came with that. I did not expect that, actually. For some reason, I kind of thought he wouldn't. Well, I was surprised when he had it when I unboxed him. The only problem with the clothing, and this is the same with Gord as well, it's actually the exact same quality, but the hips, for some reason, are like super thin, so it's really hard to fit it over the shoulder frame, but once you do, it's all real easy, and it's perfect length, too. That was the same with Gord. I like the fact it would have been cool if he had some extra stuff, but at least this way, if you're putting him somewhere a little bit more dirty, you don't have to worry about the cloth getting, super gross at the bottom, because it's like just above the bottom there. And like the sleeves and stuff are really nice. The arms are really easy to put in here, so sleeves are a really nice big size. And I like how droopy they are, and they got some nice Velcro points, as you'd imagine. They look pretty good. The hands and all the painting, like I said already. One other thing is probably just like the proportions of him too. Like I said, he's bigger than those pack reapers. I'd say I'm like 6'3". I'd say he's about like almost like 6'4" at the top of his hood here and his head. Like proportionally, he's big. Like he could almost be like a 7-footer with his neck slouch there. His shoulders are actually quite broad, and that's something surprising because Guardian the Gourds, he actually has shoulder pads to make him look more bulky, and this guy just like naturally looks more bulky with how much like clothing he has, and I love it. He's just got great proportions for a Reaper, even compared to like I'm gonna compare him a lot to Inferno Reaper because he's my first ever prop, and he's my other Reaper I have, and I just like he has a lot more pros to him, not as much animation. I'd say he has like better character though, and just better clothing. Yeah, I think that's the one downside. And then here's my one thing I don't love about this guy. I'm going to nitpick on a little bit is the animation. Like I love the bobblehead. That's a big hot take, but I love the bobblehead. And I'm not a huge fan of this arm mechanism. I see where they're going with it. It's just like it's too subtle. It's not like enough to be a jump scare, or like they were trying, and it's it's not like small enough to be subtle. It's just kind of like there. I'm glad they added a second animation more than just the bobblehead. It justifies price a lot more. It's actually, as I showed in the other part of the review here, it's actually really nicely built if built properly. But yeah, honestly, how to summarize this guy? Like I said, underrated. Do not pass on this guy if you find him half off. He's really well priced for 200 Canadian or 180 American's a little steep, but still not bad for what you're getting here. He's big. Yeah, again, also the scythe is like 7 or 7.5 feet tall at the top, and this part here, I'm not even hitting my head on. Like I said, 6'3". I'm not even hitting my head on the tip of the scythe. This is probably like 6.5 feet or 6'7" probably to the top of the scythe there. Kind of the same as his head there. Yeah, he's just amazing. Honestly, like I said, hot take might be one of the best modern Reapers. I know it's a really large statement. Definitely best Reaper packs done in a long time. And yeah, I love him. I don't see enough people, getting this guy this year. He is amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for my haunt builds coming out right after this. I know it's going to be a lot more popular than this video. Hopefully get a lot more views. A lot of my reviews have been doing very well lately. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please, like I said, stay tuned for those. There's a lot more fun coming out this weekend. And you know what? Please consider getting this guy this year. He is absolutely amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.